that have been doing business in the EU have been working with GDPR for many years. There's similar regulations both here in the States in a few states as well as some other countries. So, in some ways, there's also in healthcare, there's HIPAA, and, financial services has its own, compliance issues, and yet we're still here, right? So,
Yeah.
and even, even healthcare companies and financial services companies are having these data breaches. So, what's still like the concept seems like any CIO, CTO, any marketer at an organization can intellectually wrap their heads around this stuff. But, why are we still faced with the diamonds in the cheese, so to speak?
So I think that part of it is because we haven't really realized that something like PII or customer, basically personal data about a customer, is something that's different. We've built these systems where we've essentially treated it the same as other data, and then now we've essentially scaled those systems to a place where we have this huge data sprawl problem, and then it becomes kind of like, it feels like an intractable problem to kind of disentangle the mess that we've created. Yeah. You now have 10,000 copies of someone's home address across multiple databases, log files, backups, and so forth. So what ends up happening is companies end up buying a lot of like point solutions to try to stitch together some type of solution to this problem. But because they're not really solving the fundamental issue, it's a little bit like putting a Band-Aid on like a broken arm. It's not going to like reset the arm. Like you're sort of, you're trying to treat some of those symptoms, but not actually fundamentally like solve the disease. And I think that's why we end up, because imagine if you had, instead of like one copy of your passport that you kept in a secure location in your home, you had 10,000 copies of your passport that you put all over the place, and then you tried to protect all those locations. Like, that's a really hard problem to solve. And that's essentially what we do with data. So until we kind of take a step back and take more of a first principles approach to this problem, it's going to be very hard for a lot of businesses to address it.